Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. Y'all know what time it is when y'all see me. It is Chill Town Hoops. This is what we do. We talk pro basketball here, the good, the bad, the indifferent. Let's get to it. Y'all know what time it is when y'all see me, man. I want to give a shout out to my man Big Ox. I want to give a shout out to Players Choice Network. You know where to find us at. We are here Monday to Friday on the panel. I am here weeknights right here on Chill Town Hoops. On Tuesday night, me and my man Tony Tone, we also do it here, and also on the Chill Town Hoops Network and the Sports Fluent Network. We are here. So I'd like to start the conversation with some really interesting news, which is, it's pretty serious. And I want to get right to it. And what I mean when I say this is, I think this is nothing short of not catastrophic, but it's pretty significant. So when you have a team, right, when you have a team that's trying to build something, and that something gets accelerated when you add a new free agent to the crew, and a big time free agent at that, the idea is to keep this going, right? So that means that these guys, whomever is on the crew, whomever is on the roster, like, this shoots the timeline up. Like, you got to get better. You have to get better now. Like, you don't got to get better in 2-3 years. You got to get better right now, today. So with that being said, when the Houston Rockets get Kevin Durant, the idea is we trying to win it. And we ain't trying to win it in 2 years. Nah, we trying to win it right now. And we don't want to waste any time doing that. So a guy in Fred VanVleet, who is as awesome as he is, the championship pedigree, in addition to him having the championship pedigree, one of the steadiest lead guards in the game, one of the better small guards in the game, we love what we see from him. I bet. So you were able to trade for Kevin Durant, and you were able to keep your core guys together. You end up losing Jalen Green, and you also end up losing Dylan Brooks. Okay, bet. But I was able to keep Sengun. I was able to keep Jabari. I was able to keep Tari. And I was able to keep the most important one out of this group, and that's Amen Thompson. I was able to do that. So in the process of me doing that, with getting Kevin Durant here, this is going to do nothing else but accelerate him. When this whole thing started, I wasn't as huge of a Fred VanVleet fan as everybody else. I liked him. I'm not going to argue that. I liked him. But I wanted to give the ball to Amen Thompson. And the reason why I wanted to give the ball to Amen Thompson is because not only do I think he's the future, I think that what he brings as a lead guard, I think it could be so much better, and it could just elevate this group right now. Because I see what he can look like with the ball in his hands. Now, immediately when people hear he's got the ball in his hands, that means that he's going to be their leading scorer and he's going to just be their one-on-one guy. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying, however, is I'm saying that a guy like Amen Thompson is a jack of all trades. And I could give him the ball. He can initiate my offense. He can play in transition. I'm anticipating him getting better. What we do when we have these young players is we expect them to just be just what they are. Like, we don't anticipate them get, like, if they don't jump out the box on you right from the beginning, they're not ever going to be any good. When in reality, if they're under the correct development, they're going to be great. Peace, God. If they're under the correct development, they're going to be fantastic. And I think that Amen Thompson is under the correct development in Houston. Coach Ime Udoka is a no-nonsense accountability coach who demands excellence. And I think that Amen Thompson, I think he's cut from that cloth. I think with him being cut from that cloth, I think his improvement, you're going to see it this year, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I think he's going to be a much better ball handler this season. I think he's going to be a much better jump shooter this season, to the point where it's respectable. I ain't talking about him being Anthony Edwards, where he goes from shooting this amount to this amount and then turns into this. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that the jump that I think I'm going to see from Amen Thompson, I think it's going to be exactly what he needs. He's going to be more of a ball handler. He's going to be more of a downhill guy. He's going to speed up their offense. He's going to speed up their defense, make them a better transition team. Him being a better one-on-one player, him being a better distributor now, because I think Ime Udoka is going to put the ball in his hands. I think he's going to give him the ball, which I wanted to do that right from the beginning. Now, this might be to some people's, not to some people's liking. I think this might be a knock. Some people might think this is a knock on Fred VanVleet. No, I actually like Fred VanVleet. I think Fred VanVleet's been one of the most solid lead guards in the game since he's been in the game. I think he's been nothing short of dependable. I think he's been nothing short of solid. I mean, he had an all-star season, played at a championship level, right? Had an all-star season, played at a championship level. I think Tyrese Maxey outplayed him in that playoff series. But even with that being said, right? Even with that being said, he's always been solid, great at taking care of the basketball. His assist-to-turnover ratio has always been good, right? His assist-to-turnover ratio has always been good. And with him doing that, right? With him doing that, with him doing that, you see what it looks like, right? You see it. It's right here. So with that being said, right? With that being said, now we move on to right now we move on to a guy in Amen Thompson who's played under both Ime Udoka and behind Fred VanVleet. So he's learning how to play the point guard position. And on top of that, it's not like he just got to the league a year ago. He's been in the league for a couple of years. Yeah, he's been in the league for a little bit. And the fact that he's been in the league for a little bit, I like the fact that he's a quick study. Now, I know some of you guys' concerns, because I got concerns about Houston too. I don't think that they're there yet. I think that they're a young group. I think that their experience level isn't where it needs to be yet. I do think that they're getting close, though. I do think that. I 100% believe that they're getting close. And the addition of KD accelerates that, right? I feel like the addition of KD just makes that even bigger, makes that an even bigger deal. With that being said, there are teams that are more experienced. What's up, Joshua? There are teams that are more experienced. There are teams that are a little bit ahead of them. I still got to see what Alperen Sengun looks like with Kevin Durant. I think it's going to be good, but I think it's going to be an adjustment for him. I do think that it's going to be a big-time adjustment for him because he's never played with a scorer to this level. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that KD has the unique ability to just be able to play with anybody. KD has always had that unique ability to just play with anybody. Yes, sir, he has. With that being said, him playing off of Sengun, the passer that Sengun is, the box player that Sengun is, I think that that's going to accelerate KD's game. Now, what I'm thinking about is, I think about how KD need the ball. KD plays well off the ball. And I will not argue that point. Never will I argue that point. But I think that I think Sengun is going to be an adjustment for him. And usually when you get crews like this, right? Usually when you get crews like this, and you get players like this on crews, the idea is like we want this to work right away. More times than not, it doesn't work right away. Like you need time to adjust to this. So there may be some people that think because VanVleet isn't going to be around, this is a huge adjustment for them. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal because I think that they're going to have to change the way that they play. excuse me, and I think Amin Thompson is smart enough to know that with us moving away from the way VanVleet plays, we're gonna have to play faster. I'm a bigger guard. I think the lane's gonna be my friend. My ball handling is gonna be a big part of what we're doing. So I gotta be sharp as a ball handler. So not a lot of extracurricular stuff with me. I gotta make sure that I'm getting guys involved who haven't been involved. And Fred VanVleet can pass. And I think Amin Thompson can pass too, if I'm being honest with you. I do. I think he can pass. I'm not sure if he can pass to the. I don't think he can pass to the level of. I don't think he can pass to the level of VanVleet, but I think that he can. I do think that he's a good enough passer. I do think that. Now, here's the difference. The difference is that a lot of his stuff, I think, is going to come. I think a lot of his stuff is going to come on the defensive end. And with looking at his improvement and looking at how much better he's gotten as a bucket getter, looking at how much better he's gotten, like his assist to turnover ratio is much better. I think that's a big deal. I think that's a huge deal. And I think their defense is going to be really good, which I love that. And I think him in particular, I think he's going to be a better scorer. He went from 9 to 14 last year. I think that 14 goes up to 17, 18, maybe 19. I'm not going to go as high as 20, but I think it goes up at minimum. I think it can go up. I think we can get 18 a game out of him. I do. I think we can get 18 a game out of him. And with us getting 18, 7 or 18, 8 and 7, I think that does wonders for us. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to minimize Fred VanVleet, because again, I think that him tearing up his knee, I think that definitely throws a monkey wrench in what we're trying to do. Off the strength that, even the reason why I think we can survive this is off the strength that Fred VanVleet, Amin Thompson watched him, and he watches other league guards too. And on top of that, when he came into the league as a primary ball handler. He was doing that when he was in that league. He was in the league that he was in. But I think that it could get done. I don't think this is something that's wild as hell to think about. I don't think that at all. So I'm really interested to see how they make this transition. What I want to do though, like I told you, I just want to give him the ball. I don't think this is as bad as you guys think it is. I don't. I don't think this is as bad as you guys think it is. I think that they have the ability, and this is, again, the Houston Rockets. They still have the ability to be one of the better defensive teams in the league with Amin Thompson at the league guard spot. And I'm gearing on the side of his improvement and him being much better. That's what I'm gearing on. I'm gearing on the side of him being one of the best a better downhill guy, a better passer. I'm gearing on that right there. I'm leaning toward him being a better scorer. I'm leaning toward him being a better distributor. And I think that's going to give him so much more confidence. Because if you look at this crew, with VanVleet, with Sengun, with KD, the kid from the Lakers that they got this season, with Jabari, Tari, Dorian Finney-Smith. With these guys, I feel like this doesn't put a lot of pressure on Sengun. On Amin Thompson to have to do to take an astronomical jump. His jump can be it could be good, where he goes from being just an on-ball guy to being more of an on-ball guy, to getting downhill, to being able to navigate screens, because Steven Adams is one of the better screen setters in the game. Not only is Steven Adams one of the better screen setters in the game, right? Not only is Steven Adams one of the better screen setters in the game, so is Sengun. So I think that this gives him an opportunity to play in pick and dive more. I think this gives him an opportunity. I think this gives him an opportunity to not just play and pick and dive more, to enhance his skill set. And I think that this works really well for him. I think this is gonna be good for Houston. I do. I think this is gonna be good for Houston. And there's some people who don't particularly like it, and I understand it. I do. There's some people who don't particularly like it because they look at KD and they see how KD has been with this group. I mean, with teams, not this group, because we haven't seen him with this group, but they see how KD has been with particular crews. All right, so they see how he's been with particular crews, and it hasn't worked in the past, right? But with that being said, this kind of crew, right? This kind of group, I think this could be really good for him. I do. I think this could be really good for him, and I think this could be really good for this Rockets team. I think this Rockets team is going to be really good this year. I'm looking forward to seeing them. I'm looking forward to seeing them, and Amen Thompson in particular, turn into what I think that they could turn into. I don't think that they win in it, because I do think that they're still young, and I still think that they are a low ways away. But I got Amen at the 1 because I initially wanted to put Amen at the 1. I don't want to play him at the 2. I do not want to play Amen Thompson at the 2. No, absolutely not. I want to play Amen Thompson at the 1. In addition to playing Amen at the 1, I'm going to play Amen at the 1. And we still have Reed Shepherd. In addition to having Reed Shepherd, because I mean I feel like that's another option, which is going to be good, which is going to be really good, in fact. So no Fred VanVleet. So we could have a backcourt of Amen Thompson, DFS, Jabari, KD, Sengun. Or we could have a backcourt of Reed Shepherd, Amen Thompson, and Reed can play off the ball. I'll give him in the ball. Reed Shepherd at the 2. And I hear all of this stuff about, guys are small. So, I mean, VanVleet was small. Trae Young is small. Curry small. I mean, these guys aren't 6'6", 6'7" guys. Meanwhile, Amen Thompson is 6'6", 6'7". So I'll go Amen at the 1, Reed Amen and Reed in the backcourt, and my front court is Jabari, KD, Sengun. And I actually want to move KD to his natural position. I want to put KD at the 3. I want to keep KD at the 3. If I can keep KD at the 3, I've always felt like that's where he's the most effective. And I know that 4s aren't customary 4s today, where they dirty work guys and they play on the box and stuff like that. Yeah, I get that. But I just think KD is so much more effective as a 3. He's always been more effective as a 3. So I put Jabari at the 4, even though I like Jabari at the 3 too, but we got KD here. So we can play the 4. Or KD has been playing the 4 the last couple of years. I can put Jabari at the 3, where I like him. Love Jabari at the 3. I can put Jabari at the 3. I can put KD at the 4 and Sengun at the 5. We got a big-ass front court. I go 6'10", 6'10", 6'10". That's a big-ass front court, yo. That's a huge front court. I love it. So I was also seeing I saw this not scandal, but it's a bit of a dust up. And it's one of those things where you don't kill a messenger. I mean, you don't kill the message, you kill the messenger. Was Pat Bev at a line for saying what he said about was Pat Bev at a line for saying what he said about Trae Young? I can't say with 100% certainty that he was completely out of line, because I'm thinking to myself, I mean, what he said, a lot of that stuff was correct. Yeah, what he ended up saying, I thought a lot of that stuff was correct. What he said, right? I don't think it was a situation where, he said some things that wasn't true, right? I don't think that he. I don't think he said anything that was just completely ridiculous. And to his point, to his point, I mean, I don't think that he's out of line for saying that who can't be criticized, because I mean, I think they all can be. I don't think that he's one of those guys. I don't think he's one of them dudes who's just out of line for that. Is he wrong for that? I don't think so. If I'm being honest with you, because I'll give you a quick tidbit of what it was, right? I'll give you a quick tidbit of what it was. Mm-hmm. Go.
He criticizes. Like, you haven't done anything. So until you've done something, yes, you have to be criticized. And you should appreciate it, because the criticism isn't coming from a player who hasn't played. It's coming from somebody who's shared the floor with you.
Mm-hmm.
Left a mark in the NBA. Right? So, like, miss me with all that. Like, I'm with you. You're the fastest person to 12,000 points, and you're the fastest person to 4,000 assists, and you get scored on the most in the NBA. Empty stats, we call.
Now, for what he said, I mean, I don't think it's ridiculous, because, like he said, if you played with the dude, I mean, I know you, and on top of that, I've been in the league for 12 years, like Pat Beverley said. I mean, I've been in the league for that long, so why can't I? I mean, I know the dude, right? I played 12 years, so I know who he is, and I don't think Pat Beverley. I think he's out of line by saying that you ain't on my level. I think that we got a little bit ahead of ourselves with that right there. I do believe that. Yeah, I do believe that he got a little bit ahead of himself with that right there. But knowing that, I seen this dude. I played against this dude all of these years. I've been an all-league defender. I know what it's like to be elite on the defensive side of the ball. I know what it's like to scrap to get to where I'm trying to go. I know what it's like to be an elite player on some level. And Pat Beverley, as an all-league defender, whether you like it or not, was an elite defender. Yes, he was. So I know what it's like to do that. And I'm behind the scenes, and I'm seeing what's going on with these people, how they feel about you. And to his point, Trae Young isn't above criticism. I don't think so. And I understand where you guys are with the message. Don't kill the messenger, because he is right. Like, would it have held more weight if Tyrese Halliburton would have said that? Would it have been less of a big deal? Would it have been less of a deal if Jalen Brunson would have said that, or if De'Aaron Fox would have said that? So even though a lot of the stuff that he said was true, right? It's not like what he said was out of line, because a lot of the stuff that he said was true. A lot of it, not some of it, but a lot of that stuff he said was true. And because of that, I think that we get wrapped up in who said it instead of recognizing what it was. So first and foremost, I mean, Trae Young did get Nate McMillan ran out of town. Nate McMillan is a damn good coach. I'm not on the fence about that. He is a damn good coach. And he got ran out of town. And I think Trae Young had a lot to do with that. I'm not on the fence about that. I'm not thinking maybe. I'm not thinking possibly. I think Trae Young had a lot to do with that. Yes, he did. Trae Young is one of the worst defending guards in the game. That is a fact. That's not my opinion. That's not Pat Beverley's opinion. That is a fact. He's one of the worst defending guards in the game. Yes, you took a team to the playoffs. Yes, you took a team to the Eastern Conference Championship. Yes, you are one of the better league guards in the game. However, there are things in your game that need to get cleaned up, which would explain why Atlanta hasn't formally offered you an extension, because they ain't sure about you. They're not. They look at you and they look at the talent that they have around you this season, and they're looking at what's going on with you, and they go, okay, we need to see this. If this Atlanta team, by the All-Star break, I ain't even going to say by the All-Star break, let this Atlanta team jump out the box, and we're 2 months into the season, and they're putting along, and they're the 6th seed, they're the 7th seed, and it's not getting done. Don't think for 1 second Atlanta ain't moving on from him. Don't think for 1 second that they won't be out on Trae Young. There's a reason why they didn't extend him. And what they're not going to do, because Atlanta's smarter than this. I'd like to think that Atlanta's smarter than this. What they're not going to do is let him walk out the front door. They're not going to do that. This is the best, which would explain why this is a wait and see this year. Because I think this is the best assortment of talent this season and last season. I think that was the best talent he had. Jalen Johnson ended up getting hurt, right? Jalen Johnson ended up getting hurt. And with Jalen Johnson getting hurt, I think that threw a monkey wrench in what they was trying to do. I do. I think Jalen Johnson was on his way to being an all-star. He was almost a 20-10 guy. Great transition player. I think he made Trae Young's life way less difficult than what it already is. And because of that, I think he's going to make Trae Young's life even better. Just like Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to make Trae Young's life even better. KP is going to make his life even better. This Atlanta team, I think this season, not necessarily no excuses, because like immediately when you hear people saying stuff like no excuses, that means that, yo, this team is going to be competing for the NBA championship. I don't think Atlanta is going to be that good. I'll be lying if I said that I thought they were going to be that good. However, I could look at this team and I could go, yo, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they was in the East Finals. I would not be surprised if they was in the, I would not be surprised if they was in the East Finals. And you're right, Jay. Everybody is not great in transition. Jalen Johnson is, though. Jalen Johnson is fantastic in transition. And the reason why I bring up transition is because we live in a fast-paced league. And you have to be, just like you got to be able to shoot the three ball, you have to be one of the better athletes in the game. You have to be able to play fast. And I think that Atlanta put that around Trae this year. I think that they put that around him this year with the addition of Luke Kennard being able to shoot the long ball, with Alexander Walker being able to get up and down the floor and play faster. Jalen Johnson's one of the better athletes in the game. I watched Ricochet over the summer. He looks great. Okongwu is a little bit, he's not as advanced as I would like him to be. And I'm on record saying this, right? I'm on record saying this, and I still stand on it to this day. I only watch the Atlanta Hawks for two reasons. That's Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson. It's not that I don't like Trae Young. It's not that I don't like this. That's not what it is at all. It's just Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson. I think that they're everything that Trae Young needed. Everything. You got that wing defender, one of the best one, and not only one of the best defenders in the game. When Trae Young comes out of the game, they moved Dyson Daniels to the lead guard, and it worked. It worked really well when they moved him to the lead guard. So I actually like him being there. They get to play faster. I didn't give Dyson Daniels enough credit for him I didn't give Dyson Daniels enough credit as a passer, and not just a passer. I didn't give him enough credit as the navigator on offense, how he can get downhill, how he recognizes mismatches. I didn't give him enough credit for that. But when I look at this team and I look at everything that they have, so with Okongwu, Dyson Daniels, and then you got their rotation with Luke Kennard and Alexander Walker, right? Luke Kennard, Alexander Walker. I think Bogey's gone. if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think Bogey is gone. But I mean, they got assortment of guys. They have an assortment of guys. So I think they're going to be good. I do. I think that they're going to be good, and I'll be interested to see. I will be. I will be interested to see what this crew looks like come this season. I got them as the 4th seed in the East. I got the Cavs, the Knicks, the Magic, Orlando, Detroit. That's my top 5 in the. That's my top 5 in oh shit. That's my top 5 in in the East. Yep. That's my top 5 in the East. So we'll see what happens with this crew. We will. We will definitely see what happens with this crew. We'll see how good this team is this year. I understand what people were trying to do with Pat Beverley, and he shouldn't be talking about Trae Young. Ain't nobody above criticism. None of these dudes are. Mm-mm. And even if it is coming from somebody that isn't worthy, it doesn't make it any less true. It doesn't. Even if it's coming from somebody like Pat Bev, it doesn't make it any less true. And a guy like Pat Bev, who's been in the league for over 12 years, who's been an all-league defender numerous times, who knows what it takes to win because he's been in the playoffs a bunch of years, and he knows what it's like to play at that level. I might not be the guy. No, I might not be the guy. I might not be the dude that's leading the team in points or assists. No, I'm not that dude. But I'm necessary, though. I'm 100% necessary. And because of that, I don't mind the message coming from him. I don't. Mm-mm. So, yeah. So with the Rockets, like I said, with the Rockets now losing VanVleet for as long as they've lost him, and now, in addition to the Rockets losing VanVleet for as long as they lost him, now Amen Thompson is moving over. I'm gonna be real interested. I'm gonna be real interested to watch this Houston team. I think that the Trailblazers. I don't think that they're this year's Houston, because I think that we've had that over the course of. I think that we've had that over the course of time. Like Memphis kind of came out of nowhere and jumped up to the 2 seed. Then Sacramento shows up out of nowhere and they jump to the 3 seed. Then Indiana ends up in the NBA championship. Then the Houston Rockets jump up to the 2 seed, right? So I think that this Trailblazer team, I don't think they're going to be that good. I'll be lying if I said I think the Trailblazers are going to be that, because I don't think they're going to be that good. No, I don't think that. Mm-mm. However, what I do think about this team is I think that they're going to play their way into the playoffs, though. I do think that. The 36 wins that they had last year, right? The 36 wins that they had last year, I think that 36 wins, I think that goes to 42, 43 wins. And I'm thinking that off the strength of guys getting better. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about Scoop coming back better. I'm thinking about Danny Advia playing himself into an all-star role this season. I think he could be that good. And first of all, I didn't know that Danny Advia, I did not know that Danny Advia was that big. I'm thinking he like a 6'5", 6'6" guy. I see him in the Eurobasket tournament. He's 6'9". A bit of it. He's 6'9". I did not know he was that big. I'm like, damn. That really helps them. And I think the fact that Damian Lillard is going to be playing, Damian Lillard is going to be on that bench is going to do nothing more than help Scoop this season. I think that Scoop would have been so much, I think Scoop would have been so much far, I think he would have been so much further along had Dame been, those 2 years that Dame was in Milwaukee, I think Scoop would have been so much further along had Dame been in Portland. And he could have played behind Dame. Oh, I think he would have benefited so much playing behind him. I think it would have helped him so much. I think his vision, I think his know-how, I think his screen navigation, I think his basketball IQ. If I'm playing behind Damian Lillard, this is one of the best guards in the league. Right? If I'm playing behind him, I have no choice but to know. I have no choice but to get better. None. There's no way I don't get better playing behind Damian Lillard. But because he was the number 2 or the number 3 pick overall in the draft, immediately I got to play right now, even though he clearly wasn't ready. He wasn't. He was not ready. But the fact that he wasn't ready, he's a bust. No. He just needed some help. Not all early first round picks are the same. No, not all of them are. There are plenty of them, right? There are plenty of them that need some help. And there are plenty of them who do. Plenty of them. I had a super chat from Lee Mack. He says, when it comes to Pat Bev's situation, Pat Bev has a history of saying controversial statements, so his history is attached to people's reaction, even if it's true. That is fact, Lee. That is fact. They hear the messenger, which is Pat Bev, and they completely take out what the message is. And they go back to what he was saying in the past, and they go, oh, Pat Bev wants some nonsense again. When in reality, if you listen to the stuff that he said, there's so much truth in it. There's a ridiculous amount of truth in it. So with that being said, I have no problem with the message or the messenger. I don't have any problem with it. And the reason why is because I think Pat Bev has earned the right, playing that many years in the league, to be able to speak out. Yes. No doubt about it. But as far as the Trailblazers are concerned, as far as the Trailblazers are concerned, I think they play their way into the playoffs this year. Yep. I think they play their way into the playoffs. I don't think that they win in the playoff series. I'm not going to sit here and say that, but I think Chauncey Billups is doing as good a job as he possibly can with this group. Yep. I do think that. And I think that this team, right, I think that this team, I would have loved to seen DeAndre Ayton stay, but it doesn't work because now they got Klingon, and I think I think he's the force that they're looking for defensively, right? I think he's the force that they're looking for defensively, and I think he's the guy that's going to make them, right? I think he's the guy that's going to make them so much better on defense, way better on defense, and I think it's great. I do. I think it's great. So we'll see what happens. Yes, we will see what happens. I'll be interested. I know that media day is next Monday. I know that training camp opens next week. I know that media day is next Monday. So I'm looking forward to that. Yes, I am. Because I know media day is next Monday. So I'll be looking. Like I said, I'll be looking forward to that. I will be, and I'll be looking forward to seeing, what they got planned. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing what they got planned because, that like I said, this season we got some really good basketball. We have a potential. We got a potential. Not dynasty, because I don't think that crew is going to be able to stay together that long. But we got a team in Oklahoma City that looks like that they're going to be. We got a team in Oklahoma City that looks like they're going to be something to deal with. Yes, they are. They're going to be something to deal with, and I love it. Yep, love that about them. So. The link is not working. What's going on? Wonder why the link isn't working. Yeah, it's interesting. All right. I'll get to the bottom of that. Hang on for a second. Let me see if I can fix this, so I can see if I can get you guys up here. Okay. Nah, let's see what's going on here. Nope. Let me see if I can get the, let me see if I can get to the bottom of this, guys. Hang on for a second. Nope, that's not it. Not sure why. Nope. Not sure what's going on. Hang on for a second. Let's see if I can get to the bottom of this. That's not it. No, that's not it. Hang on for a second. I'll get to the bottom of it, though. No, that's not it. That's it. That's it. And that's my fault. I think that's it. That should be it. Yeah, that should be it. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's what I got going on, guys. Right? That's what I got going on. I found out not too long ago, Mac Jones doesn't suck. Right? I found out not too long ago that Mac Jones doesn't suck, and that helps. I think that helps out a lot. And I think that my 49ers are going to be much better. Even though we just lost Joey Bosa, that kind of sucks too, but we'll see. Yeah. Nah, not me, man. What up?
What up? What up? You can hear me?
Yes, you hot.
Yo, oh man, breaking news. Shout out to PC for doing the breaking news thing. Let me just say a lot real quick while I got the time. I didn't get to your part of the origin story, but it was one of my favorite clips that PC done, hearing how all of the different panelists got to Player's Choice and how, you know what I'm saying? I heard Mars part, I heard Real Talk part, and I was about to listen to your part, and then, you know what I'm saying, I seen you was live. But it's just so much to say.
I didn't say anything about how I got on. I didn't want to. I'm like, I'll let y'all do that because I don't want to. I don't want to. I just don't want to be a part of like trying to big time y'all, anything like that. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I heard Real Talk. He said, "Yo, Chill's famous on the low." It's true though, man. It's true.
Apparently, I don't know. I don't consider myself a big deal at all, man. I'm just up there talking basketball. That's all I do.
I seen you here, and then I don't know just how algorithms work. Then I seen Richard Jefferson pull you up on ESPN. I said, "What?" I said, "Yo, I didn't even know Chill's big time like that."
I didn't know it either. He actually hit me, and he was like, "Yo, I'm doing this segment on ESPN. I need a hot take from you." And I was like, "All right, I got one for you."
Yeah. He got a take from something you said.
Yeah, he said, "I need a hot take." And I said, "I got one for you." And this was right before the season started. And I had talked about Herb Jones being one of the better defenders in the game. And I thought that this was before he got hurt. That was my anticipation of Herb Jones. I thought Herb Jones was going to be one of the better defenders in the game. And come to find out, I mean, it didn't work out like that, but I think that I might have been a year behind. I think we get back to that though.
Yeah, but you know how to scout talent. That's the nitty gritty part of it. Yeah. But speaking of players that's injured and whatnot, now I want to know if you're gonna put fire to it or not. I'm trying to put the fire out, to be honest, but I care about what I'm saying, what you're gonna say. Now, Fred VanVleet got hurt. We all know this, right? Now, the first thing I see on next Twitter is, Cam Thomas to the Houston Rockets for our 27th pick. Shout out to my guy PT. I'm already putting the fire out. Like, no, I'm not with none of that. Let Cam Thomas rock out of here. Let Cam Thomas get his opportunity in Brooklyn. But what you think, though, man? How you feel about the situation them going forward? Because they still want to contend, in my opinion, Chill. But they need
a point guard. League guard. They already got him. They already got him. It's a mentality. It's a mentality.
Wow. How you call that, though?
They already got him. It's Amin Thomas. It's Amin Thompson. Now, follow me on this one real quick.
I'm with you.
So when I watch Amin Thompson, I see a lot of young Scottie Pippen. I see a lot of young Ron Artest. So I think that offense can change a little bit. The offense changing, I could put the ball in his hands, and I can make him more of a distributor. He could get downhill. He was doing that when he came into the league. From that league that he was playing in, he had the ball in his hands anyway. I can do that with him playing in Houston with KD. I could. I feel like him playing. I feel like him playing with Sengun, him being able to speed the game up as a defender, him playing in transition. I think that I can get that offer from him. Here's the problem. The problem is that VanVleet is such a floor spacer. Amin Thompson isn't that. What I'm banking on, this is what I'm banking on though with Amin Thompson. I'm banking on Amin Thompson being a respectable shooter. Not necessarily a long ball shooter, because I saw this with Milwaukee in the play-in tournament. And I remember watching, I want to say it wasn't AJ Green, but it was the other rotation guy that they had. He was starting for them. And I'm like, if he could knock down a 17-footer and keep defenses honest, that can make this team so much better. And I feel like with Amin Thompson, if we could get him to be respectable as a jump shooter, that makes it so much better.
All right, so it's fair to say that Sengun and KD, they're going to play inside the three-point line, right? And what would have made that team so deadly, or for lack of better words, so great, was the fact that Fred VanVleet could shoot 30 feet, 28 feet, 32 feet. Like, he could hit the long ball. If you know what I'm saying, and you know how you say long ball, this is definitely somebody who could do that. So with that, with KD and Sengun in the paint, I could see how it worked. Now, I agree with you about the Scottie Pippen Jr. thing. I see it too. But what about if he just kept his style of play and play like Westbrook and trying to find Sengun and KD for like a dime?
I think that we're going to do that. This is what I'm thinking about with him. That part that you just said, I don't want him to play like Westbrook though. And the reason why I want him to play like Westbrook, because I don't think that style of play fits him. I think he's smarter than that. I want him to play a little bit more under control. I want him to play a little bit slower. He could play at a fast pace, but slow down a little bit. And with that being said, if he could be a respectable jump shooter, not necessarily at the long ball line, but anywhere between 14 to 17 feet, if he could be respectable, get that defense to commit, he could get to the rim. And if I can see his ability to pass, I think that we're much better. So I don't hate this. To be honest with you, I wanted to give him the ball anyway. I did. I wanted to give him the ball anyway, and I think this is going to work. I do. I think this is going to work. So, all right, brother. What up?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yo.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yo, speaking on the Rockets, what role do you see Jabari Smith playing?
I think he's a DN3 guy, and I think he turns into a better scorer with KD there. I think with seeing what KD brings, I mean, I think that he can. I don't think he's going to try to model his game after KD, but I do think that he's going to have tidbits of KD's game that he learns from, and I think that he can be a better scorer. He can shoot the three, he can shoot the mid range. He's a great finisher. I think he's good off the dribble, especially going to his strong hand. I really like that about him. So, and in addition to having KD, I think that just enhances his game.
What do you see KD averaging this year on the Rockets?
I think KD a 25 a game guy until he retires.
Quick question.
There's nobody that I think can stop him from averaging 25 a game.
Quick question about the Cavs, real quick, because I'm big on this Lonzo acquisition. What do you think is the best lineup that Lonzo could play in for the Cavs and like really succeed at?
Lonzo at the 1, D Mitch at the 2, Mobley, or let me take that back. Darius at the 1, D Mitch at the 2, Lonzo at the 3, Mobley at the 4, Jared Allen at the 5.
Whew.
Yes.
That's a crazy lineup.
Yep.
Appreciate it, dog.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you. Peace, God.
Peace, chill. What's good, brother?
Just talking some hoops on a Monday night. You know what time it is.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how we got the news tonight about Fred VanVleet. So I'm like, man, I just want the season to start, man. I just really want the season to start, chill. I mean, I know the Niners are winning right now. It feels good to be 3-0, but
Lost
I
Bosa.
really want to see all this stuff that people are talking about. All this, like, it's really up in the air, chill. Anybody could win it this year.
Yeah. That's what we have. That's what we it's
Anybody
not a
could win
coincidence.
it, man.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence that we are in the parity that we're in, where I mean we've just had 7 different champions. Like Oklahoma City isn't a lock to win it. Denver
they're not.
isn't a lock to win it.
No, they're
I
not.
think Cleveland's gonna win it, but Cleveland ain't a lock to win it. This is one of the few times, to be honest with you, Jay, where we could say we don't know who's gonna win the NBA championship. Like when Kobe and Shaq was running around, it was like, yo, them dudes winning it. When LeBron was in Miami, at minimum, we knew they was gonna be in the NBA championship. When Curry showed up with Draymond and Clay, and then they got KD, they're winning the NBA championship. In the 90s, we knew that the Bulls, at minimum, were gonna be there, and they probably could win it. We're in a space now where, all right, Denver is good, and I think that they could win it. But I already know how you feel about Anthony Davis, but I think that Dallas team got a shot. I think they got a real shot. I know how you feel about them, but I do.
I was gonna hit you up about Dame. When is Dame expected to come back?
Next season.
So he's not gonna play this year at all.
No, that torn Achilles. I mean, he tore it up in the playoffs last year. So
that's it for him. He's not coming back. Jason Tatum's not coming back. Halliburton's
No
these
Jason Tatum.
guys are taking the entire year off, right? They're not playing at all this year.
Nope.
Because I was gonna say if they can get him back and have a decent record, you know, by the time he comes back, they can be a threat as well, the Portland Trailblazers. But I guess without him, they're not really that much of a threat. But there was
now when you say not much of a threat, Jay, not much of a threat. Now, what do you mean not much of a threat? Like I think they're gonna play their way into the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna make some noise.
That's what I mean.
But
like if they make the playoffs, that's really it. They're not gonna. That's enough noise. That's like they're not gonna beat nobody in the first round.
No, I don't think so neither.
Yeah, so that's how I'm seeing it. But I was thinking, damn, if Dame come back, because I just saw Halliburton the other day with Spike Lee. He looked like he's walking.
Well,
no
remember,
help.
Jay, you know that this happened 4 months ago. This ain't like this happened like 3 weeks ago. The finals was in June.
But that's what I'm saying. But this is your Achilles. How you?
Yeah.
I mean, he had he had no boot on or nothing. He was sitting. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, he has regular shoes on. He don't look like he's with no crutches.
That was 3 months ago. I mean, it was 3 months ago. Jason Tatum is
somebody
basically
said Tatum's running. Somebody said Tatum is running already.
Like I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I haven't
that's
heard.
What I'm saying.
I'd be surprised if that's going on.
The ideas of Achilles tear was automatic 6 months of rest, like just off your feet, right?
But you're not doing much. Yeah, I could get with that. Yes, I could definitely get with that. I just think Jay with the Trailblazers, and I don't know if you heard me say this. How much better would Scoot be if Dame would have been there for them 2 years instead of him being in Milwaukee? He's still in Portland because, and there's a lot of people who, you know, they kind of fight this logic. Jay, I'm one of these people who just because you get drafted high does not necessarily mean you're ready to play right now. That doesn't mean.
No, of course not. The NBA drafts on potential more than anything. It doesn't even matter what round it is. Yeah.
And a lot of these kids, because they get drafted early and they get drafted high, they got to play right now. And I'm like, I would have loved for Scoot to play behind Dame for those 2 years. I think he would have been so much better if he played behind Dame.
Scoot had a hurt season, right? Was it last year or the year before? Wasn't it where he was hurt for a little bit? Am I?
In his rookie season.
His rookie season. Okay.
His rookie season, he was hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the key right there. I think players need to just find a way to stay healthy. I don't know how they can do this. I don't know what they have to do. But it's kind of crazy when you hear. It's crazy though. I mean, the ACL didn't VanVleet tear ACL already before?
I think I want to say
didn't he?
That's what I'm saying.
So many guys tear their ACL now. You don't even know anymore, and it's like, it's like I said, it's just sad because these guys work hard and get prepared. We was all excited for Houston.
I was looking forward to them. I don't remember him tearing up his knee when he was in Toronto. I don't. I don't remember him doing that. So, okay. But what I do know is with this Trailblazer team, not necessarily this Trailblazer team, with VanVleet, with him getting hurt, like this is the logic that bugs me out, Jay. You know, he got hurt working out. It's not like he got hurt like screwing around. No, he got like this can happen anywhere. That's why I have such a difficult time when I hear people telling me you shouldn't be playing in the All-Star game, or you shouldn't be playing in summer league, or you shouldn't be playing in pickup. I mean, Boogie Cousins got hurt playing it. What am I supposed to do, Jay? I'm a basketball player.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't mind them working out during the summer and getting themselves ready. Like I said, it's just sad, man. You know, like I'm going through it. My boy's gone for 2 months, and I'm like, why get hurt now?
Here's the thing, though, Jay. Your man. Here's the thing. Your man is going to be back. So today's the 22nd. Your man will be back. Like we'll be fairly into the season. Like we ain't gonna be deep into the season. We'll be into the season about a month or so into the season. I think he'll be fine, yo. I think your boys will be fine. I do. This isn't something where he's out for 6 months or he's out for 3 months and this throws a monkey wrench in it. Nah, He got an ankle injury. He'll be back in 6 weeks, 8 weeks tops, and y'all will be right back in the middle of this. You still got to show up that point guard spot. You do.
Yeah,
we really do.
We really do, man. So, we really do, man. But look, man, I'm looking forward to the season, though, Trey. I really can't wait. And we're gonna be doing some playback as well. We're gonna be doing playback. I'm hoping I can pop up on PC one of these days because y'all need some refreshing takes on there. Y'all tripping on PC, man. Y'all got to bring Ticket back. To be honest with you, y'all need Ticket back. To be honest with you, there's a couple people y'all can kick off and just bring Ticket back. Maybe try to get Dub back, Low, somebody. Because
what's wrong with what's going on with us, y'all? What's the deal,
bro? The other day, you had a live stream where you and Jordan, that's his name, we're talking about the finals and LeBron James passing the ball to Kyrie Irving for the free throws, right? Now, these are the same dudes that'll tell you off the ball action between Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant was make them elite over LeBron. Then he shows you a play of LeBron elite cutting to the basket, right? And he says, "Oh, that's Kyrie there. That's all Kyrie there. That was all Kyrie." He couldn't accept LeBron James cutting at the basket to the point to where Draymond Green had to literally flagrant foul him. I don't know why that didn't get called as a flagrant foul the way we look back at
today.
It.
We had to go. We went to the monitor to look at that. Yes.
Yeah, and then on top of the nerve, he had the nerve to say LeBron was faking an injury as if LeBron wasn't landing on that right hand.
He got fouled really hard, and I said that I was like, "Yo, he cut to the basket. That was because of Kyrie." I'm like, ugh.
Now, mind you, this is the same person that told you cutting don't mean nothing. This is just cut. But Kobe cutting, Jordan cutting off the ball. Again, I never understood this nonsense about running without a basketball. I never understood the praise about somebody running around without a basketball. Never understood this praise a day in my life, chill. Never, ever. But that's what you have over there, man. That's what you have over there. You just have a bunch of zesty Jeffrey festive. You know, it's just a bunch of zesty Jeffrey fest over there. Just lying about basketball. They can't talk the game, chill. Even their eye test be off, bro. Like they can't talk the game. They can't break the game down. The man said,
"I mean, we do have some guy."
That what you gonna tell that he's a coach. He gonna tell his best player, who's not the best free throw shooter on the team, nah, just hold on to the ball because you need to have that will and tenacity to stand there. Don't let nobody, instead of passing it to your damn best free throw shooter.
Nah, and if you do, and if I do that, I'm scared. Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah, my dude, listen, Jay, my dudes over there, they know what they talking about, and I know that some of that stuff could be crazy to you, but these dudes, especially Jordan does know the game, man. He does. He breaks the game down really well. So, but I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer.
Nah,
Jay. You know
my
where to
bad,
find
man.
me at, my dude.
Yeah, man, brother. Peace and blessings, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Jordan know the game. Jordan breaks down the game really well. So Jordan's got some really good insight. I like what I see from him. No doubt about that. So there's not many guys that I could talk basketball with. Jordan's one of those guys that I feel like I could talk basketball with. So speaking of talking, it's about that time for me. I do have to bounce. It was good to see you guys tonight. You know where to find me at. If I'm not here, weeknights, I'm on TikTok, 9 a.m. every morning, Monday to Friday. Fan Appreciation Day is on Friday night. Weeknights, I am here, whether I'm on the Chilltown Hoops Network or the Sports Fluent Network. Me and my man Tony Tone, we do it on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. If I'm not here, you can find me and my man Big Ox on the Players Choice Network at 4 o'clock on Thursday and at 12 o'clock on Saturday. We are not hard to find. I will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. I will talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light, but take it. Not Friday, Saturday. It's Thursday night. It's Thursday at 4 o'clock, Breezy. Thursday at 4 o'clock and Saturday at 12 o'clock. That's when I'm here. So I will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight. This was dope.